The greatest challenging blocks are getting the modern, up-to-date equipment that are needed to study cancer at the molecular level, as well as the training and retraining of the highly skilled manpower that is needed to carry out these investigations and to interpret the results of these investigations. With equipment also comes the consumables in terms of gene probes, especially for genetic studies and molecular studies that are needed to carry out these studies over time. I'll give you, for example, we have a grant from TED Fund, the NRF grant. We won to study megagenomics of ovarian and cervical cancer as a comparison, and to see if these megagenomics, by understanding them, we can improve treatment outcomes, because the bacterial, the microenvironment of the cancer itself may affect how patients respond to treatment. However, the cost of doing one sample can be so prohibitive, especially at this time in our economy when we look at the conversion of the naira to the dollar, especially since virtually all these reagents have to come from outside this country. And this brings to value the kind of international collaboration we're having with the University of Miami, and we are leveraging this relationship to do these investigations with them, and we have applied for tissue transfer between our institution and their institution to be able to carry out these investigations out there. And that is why we're talking about capacity building. With the coming in of the institutions like NICRAT, we believe we'll be able to develop those infrastructure in this country and be able to support the equipment base that is needed, as well as provide the consumables for us to be able to carry out such researches directly in this country and still leverage on the international collaborations we have. It also gives advantage to have this kind of international collaboration because there is diversity. For example, at the early stage of our collaboration, we studied the pattern of ovarian cancers we see in this country. It was a very large study that involved 22 different centers in this country, and we compared that data with what is seen among Afro-Americans in the United States, as well as African Caribbeans. And there was quite a significant difference. What seemed rare over there was relatively common here. And we now are trying to define why, for instance, we have more germ cell tumors of the ovary in this part of the world compared to what they see there, and whether there are genetic differences and even response to treatment. In addition, part of what we discussed at this convening is a clinical trial that comes from the United States that is being carried out by the University of Miami at the Ahmadu Bello University Teaching Hospital on the use of PAP inhibitors in the treatment of ovarian cancer. These are drugs that are already in use and approved by FCDA in the United States. But like Professor Max Stromberg mentioned, there is a paucity of testing and clinical trial amongst blacks, even in the United States. And bringing this kind of study to this country helps us leverage to see how these drugs can effectively be used in our population. Even though these drugs are very expensive, but our patients also stand the advantage of getting these drugs free during that period of clinical trial. So it brings in a lot of advantages. We see the challenges, and the essence of challenges is to find ways of overcoming these challenges. And that is what we are doing.
Okay, talking about